Let's take a moment to talk about corded tools. Now, there are some tools that you're going to want to go cordless on. Like, you're going to want to have a couple tools cordless, a drill, an impact driver, and that, maybe a brad nailer or something like that. If you're a mobile person doing a lot of mobile work, going from job to job to job, cordless is going to be handy. If you can afford cordless, it's going to be great. But do you know what the problem is with cordless? They have these things called batteries. Batteries get weak over time, then they fail, and they're no good. Then you got to pay to replace these batteries. With corded tools, you don't have to replace them. And honestly, in a lot of cases, cordless tools are kind of still not practical. Like for sanding and planing, routing, like big arch routers, big routing table, chop saws, table saws. These are high consumption tools that use a lot of power. And corded, and these are tools that are going to be used in stationary positions most of the time. And if like you work in a shop or a garage, and that cordless tools is not going to be your absolute utter solution. None of that, corded tools you can get a hell of a lot cheaper right now than you are, and the maintenance and upkeep is cheaper. Usually the quality, I've noticed over the years, quality of the corded tools are actually still pretty premium, even on the low end ones. Like this Richards jigsaw, I've had that thing for eons ever since that thing came out. Still works great. Like, but that's the thing. Like, same with air nailers and stuff like that. Instead of having to swap out batteries and carry batteries and stuff like that, like if you're doing a lot of production, air is going to be the way to go for that. Buy a compressor, get some air hoses. Brad nailers and nailers, finishing carpenters. Hey, why not just buy a cordless compressor, a little hose, and get some air nailers? Air nailers are cheaper than cordless nailers. Hell of a lot cheaper. They're a lot smaller. They're a lot more compact. So get a cordless compressor to run those little nailers, or even just a little compressor. But they're more efficient. They're more effective. Less downtime, and they're smaller, and they're more compact, and they're lighter. But they're not, corded tools are not irrelevant. And the fact that they're cheap, like it's a no-brainer. You're working in your garage all day long. You got outlets on every single wall. Well, better solution, cheaper, more affordable. Even on the job site, the circular saw, the corded circular saw is still a staple. Why? Because less downtime, less go time. But when you're working up in rafters and stuff like that, and you gotta take it up, and then you gotta lower it down, up, down, up, down. We use the cord or the extension cord that's attached to lower it through the rafters onto the floor, so we're not climbing up and down and stuff like that to deal with it. But table saws use a lot of power. Chop saws use a lot of power. That's why I love the Metabos, and that's why I'm impressed with Flex. They have the option to be corded, cordless, so those are good investments because now you got both. But are cordless tools really irrelevant? I say no. They still have their place in this world because, once again, no batteries, none of that. You look at this, all these batteries that we're making is mining. Mining creates pollution and creates more waste. And now we have to recycle these batteries and deal with these batteries when they're expired and they're no good. Corded tools, you don't have to do any of that with. It's better for the environment actually having corded tools. And like I said, so sometimes it's not practical. Like I can run this sander all day long plugged into the wall, but I take the old the old cordless one, and well, I'm changing batteries out every friggin' 20 minutes on that thing. Like seriously, it sucks the batteries down, these friggin' cordless sanders. Cordless planer, got one. Sucks the battery down pretty dang fast. Doesn't suck it down. Circular saw, to keep it going all day long, I gotta have that 12 amp hour battery in there, and that's a heavy friggin' saw after I put the 12 amp hour battery in it. Like that's the thing, is it's still practical to use corded tools and air tools. Very practical. Price wise, quality, durability, longevity, repair, upkeep, maintenance. None of that. If any of these tools ever get stolen or broken and they won't get warranted, they're still cheap to replace. They're cheaper to replace than going replacing the corded. And if you're on a job site that has high risk of theft, man, Why are you going to go spend a crap load of money on cordless tools when you can get some pretty decent, cheap circular saws and sawzalls and jigsaws for that price? Routers, half-inch horsepower routers. Cordless technology is not quite there yet. They run for a while for small little jobs, but when you're doing a lot of work, like on a routing table, and you're spitting out boards, making cabinets, corded, man, it's the way to go. So are corded tools irrelevant? Like my corded cut saw. I've got my old Milwaukee. Like I've got the Metabo breaker, concrete breaker. I've got the Milwaukee concrete breaker. That's corded. This is corded cordless. That's the only reason why I bought it, because I have the option to run corded or cordless. If I didn't have that option, I would have just bought a second Milwaukee corded, okay? But yeah, you're going to want a cordless drill, a cordless impact, a couple corded tools, like maybe a thin saw or something like that. But even a thin saw goes through batteries like no tomorrow too. So sometimes like that's the thing. It all depends on what you're going to be doing, where you're going to be doing it, how much you're going to be using it and stuff like that. But are cordless tools irrelevant? No, they're not. They are a more affordable solution that gets the job done the same as the cordless. They usually last longer. They're usually cheaper to replace, cheaper to maintain. You have no batteries to worry about, because batteries get expensive. Like replacing batteries every single year costs a fortune, but that's also bad for the environment, like really bad for the environment. This here, like is cordless the way to go 100%? No, it's not. Like with air tools, air nailers, brad nailers, pinners, and stick nailers and stuff like that, they're smaller, they're lighter, they have more power, they last longer, you're not stopping and waiting. Like I said, you can go get a whole entire set of finishing nailers for under $300, good quality ones for under $300. Get a little cordless compressor, Milwaukee Metabo DeWalt cordless compressor, and it will run those nailers all day long, no problem. So now you are technically cordless. You got a little tiny compressor you can carry over with you, a little short little hose, get the job done, smaller, compact. Because that's the one pet peeve I have about these cordless. They're big. They don't fit into tight spaces. They don't. And none of that, the batteries add extra, right? Like I said, the circular saws, man. To keep my circular saws running all day long, I gotta have two 12 amp hour batteries. My cordless one, I'm never worried about running out of juice. Never worried of running out of juice. And this thing's old as hell. It's never been warranted. Old as Borscht. It's almost as old as me. Never been warranted. This thing actually has the where the label was for the warranty. This one's been warranted out 3 times. This one's been warranted out once, and this one has no more warranty because it's over 5 years old now. That one's got 1 year left of warranty, so I'm screwed when those are done. But God, man, if this thing ever broke on me, I could go replace it for like $100. Hey, I could go on Marketplace and get it for like 25. But seriously, cordless is not gone. Yeah, corded is not gone. It's still relevant, still has its place. And if you're a DIYer or a hobbyist, dude, man, corded is going to be your ticket to success in life. It's not going to break your bank. It's not going to hurt your pocket. It's not going to take up any more space. And you're still going to get a good job. But definitely for your sanders and planers and big ticket tools, cord's the way to go, man. It's the way to go still. Anyways, I'm just ranting on. You're all awesome. I love you all. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.